This week I wanted to do a quick little book review. There's nothing else to say there. Fuck.
Sophie Vlogs.
I read Mr Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloane recently, and I really liked it. And I wanted to talk about why. This is going to be no spoilers, which is why it's probably going to be a slightly shorter review. This was published in 2013. I know there was a lot of hype around it when it first came out. Lots of people love it. I am not the first person to sit and do a little book review of it, but I finally got around to reading it. Okay, I'm going to attempt a concise plot setup. Our main character is Clay. He was a sort of graphic designer, web designer person for like a bagel company. Recession hit, bagel company went under. He's lost his job. He ends up working at Mr Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. What is a 24-hour bookstore, I ask you? It's a bookstore that's open for 24 hours, shockingly. He's on the night shift. As he works there for longer times, he starts to notice that, like, it's always the same people coming in, and they always sort of know exactly what they're looking for. And the bookstore has, like, the front of it, which has, like, normal books in, and then it has, like, the way back, which has really, really tall with all of these really, like, rare and mysterious books and everything. So, like, there's a mystery surrounding this store, essentially, and the longer he works there, the more he's sort of trying to figure out what that mystery is. I will go no further, because figuring out what the mystery is very fun, and I don't want to ruin that for anyone who hasn't done that. But that's our little plot setup. Reasons why I liked it. Number one, I quite like a good mystery book. I enjoyed the mystery of this book. I enjoyed watching it unfold. It made me really ravenous to find out what was going on. That was really good. My second reason is essentially the reason why I pushed this book up to a 4 out of 5 stars rather than a 3 out of 5 stars. And that is because I really like the way that this book deals with books and technology. I feel like since we all became a lot more technological and people spend a lot more time on their phones, etc., 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 there's like this tendency, if you're a book lover, to get a little bit defensive of books to the detriment of technology. So there's a lot of like extolling the virtues of physical books in regards to ebooks, stuff like that. There are a lot of people who very passionately hate ebooks. I am not one of those people. I like a good ebook. I think anything that makes reading accessible for people is great. This book has a wonderful mix of the two. So it's obviously one of the main aspects of it is the bookstore, which means you come across a lot of book type people. But there is also a massive thread running throughout this that is all technology focused. Very specifically, there's a character who works at Google. There's a character who is involved in sort of like programming type stuff. There's a lot of technological people in this who, in many senses of the term, and there's a lot of this plotline that melds the two. And that was what I found absolutely fabulous about the book. So, as the book progresses, you get more insights into this bookstore, into the running of the bookstore, all of these things to do with books as physical objects, and that was all really super interesting and fabulous. And then simultaneously you get a lot more insight into like the amazing power of computers that we have nowadays, and the way that computers enable us to access all this knowledge that was previously inaccessible to us, and all of the incredible things you can do if you know the ways to make the most of technology. And the two interweave. There is like a melding of what old knowledge, new knowledge, essentially like a topic in it. Oh god, I feel like I'm being really, really unspecific, and I'm very sorry if this is just like a rambling mess. I'm really trying to give across the sense that this book has a fantastic dialogue about the merits of both physical books and printing and that world, and technology and the virtual information we have, and both are shown in very good lights, and both are sort of like extolled the virtues of, without putting either one down. It's not like, oh, he works in a bookstore, books are great, ebooks are the devil, and vice versa. It's not like print is dead, technology is the way forward. There's this like wonderful celebration of both and of the amazing things we can do if we embrace both old knowledge and new knowledge and just embrace it all and just have like all of the knowledge. I really don't want to spoil anything, which is making this very difficult, but I also really wanted to just like dump my thoughts somewhere. I also just felt like there were some really interesting ideas. Like, he has a friend called Matt who he lives with, who is building Metropolis, which is like taking over their house. And I don't entirely understand what it is, but I think he's just like creating like a tiny city out of stuff in his living room. I don't really know. But like, I thought Matt was really cool. So, to conclude this ramble, number 1, it was a fun book to read. I like a good mystery. The mystery was interesting. Number 2, I like the dialogue about books and technology in this. Number 3, I didn't mention this, but like there's a cool little bit about museums in it and how like museums in America work and like museum artifacts and stuff like that, which also very cool. Number 4, love a good book about books. Number 5, it was just fun. If you like books about books or little mystery books about books, then check out Mr Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore and pretend I didn't just stumble over those words. That's it for now. I'm sorry for what this became. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you whenever.